Volume 3 is the climax and denouement of the novel, where all the carefully laid plot threads converge. It is marked by a seismic scandal that threatens to destroy the Bennet family, a crisis that forces characters to reveal their true natures. Through this turmoil, pride is humbled, prejudice is dissolved, and self-knowledge is perfected, leading to the hard-won unions of the central couples. Part 1. The Pemberley Interlude, A New Perspective, Chapters 43-45. Chapter 43. The Revelation of Pemberley. With the Gardeners, Elizabeth toured Derbyshire and, at her aunt's urging, agrees to visit Pemberley, Mr. Darcy's estate, after confirming the master is absent. The estate itself is the first revelation. It is not a gaudy display of wealth, but a place of natural, refined beauty, a large, handsome, stone building, with woods and a stream that display neither formal nor falsely adorned. Elizabeth is struck by its taste, a direct reflection of its owner's true character, so different from the proud man she imagined. They are shown around by the housekeeper, Mrs. Reynolds, whose warm, unsolicited praise of Darcy is a pivotal moment. She calls him the best landlord and the best master, affable to the poor, and most shockingly to Elizabeth, sweet-tempered and good-humored. She reveals his devotion to his sister, Georgiana, whom he the best of brothers. This testimony from a servant, a person with no reason to lie, completely dismantles Elizabeth's preconceived notions of his character. The portrait of Darcy in the gallery further humanizes him. Elizabeth sees a smile in his depicted features that she remembers from his rare, genuine moments, and she feels a more gentle sensation towards the original. Chapter 44. An Unexpected Encounter. While walking the grounds, Elizabeth and the Gardeners are stunned by the sudden arrival of Darcy himself, who has returned a day early. His behavior is utterly transformed. There is no pride or coldness. He is polite, attentive, and even eager, especially towards her relations, the Gardeners. He requests to be introduced to them, a significant gesture of respect that Elizabeth feels deeply. He asks Elizabeth for the honor of introducing her to his sister, Georgiana, who arrives shortly after. He is clearly anxious that the two most important women in his life should meet and like each other. Chapter 45. The Bingley Sisters' Spite. Elizabeth meets Georgiana, who is initially incredibly shy and reserved, but proves to be sweet-natured and unassuming, the opposite of the proud heiress Elizabeth had been led to expect. The following day, Darcy and his sister return the visit at the Gardeners' Inn in Lambton. Their conversation is interrupted by the arrival of Caroline Bingley and Mrs. Hurst. Caroline, seeing Elizabeth's favor with Darcy and his sister, is venomous. She makes a series of thinly veiled, cutting remarks, attempting to remind everyone of the shocking behavior of Elizabeth's mother and younger sisters and the disagreeable news they have just received about the militia leaving Meryton. Her spitefulness only serves to highlight Elizabeth's grace under pressure and Georgiana's growing regard for her. Part 2. The Lydia Crisis, Scandal and Sacrifice, Chapters 46-49. Chapter 46. The Catastrophe. Elizabeth receives two frantic letters from Jane. The first reveals that Lydia has eloped with Mr. Wickham. The second, written a day later, confirms the worst. They are not married, and their whereabouts are unknown. Wickham has no intention of marrying her. He has effectively ruined her, and by extension, her entire family. The social consequences are dire. The disgrace will ensure that Jane, Elizabeth, and Kitty will never be able to marry respectably. Elizabeth is overcome with guilt, believing her failure to expose Wickham contributed to the disaster. She is found in this state by Darcy, who has come to call. In her distress, she confides the whole sordid affair to him, stating, "I am grieved indeed, grieved and shocked, but I am not surprised. I felt that it must be so." She laments that her family's ignominy is now public. Chapter 47-48. The Search and Mr. Gardiner's Intervention. Mr. Bennet travels to London to join Mr. Gardiner in a futile search. Letters reveal that Wickham has over £1,000 in gambling debts and numerous unpaid bills to local merchants. The mood at Longbourn is one of despair. Mrs. Bennet is hysterical, convinced her husband will die in a duel. Mary moralizes unhelpfully. Kitty is frightened into revealing Lydia's imprudent behavior and her knowledge of Wickham's true character. Mr. Collins sends a grotesquely condescending letter, offering Christian comfort while gloating over their deserved disgrace. and advising Mr. Bennet to abandon Lydia forever. Just as all hope seems lost, a letter arrives from Mr. Gardiner to Mr. Bennet stating that Lydia and Wickham have been found and will be married. The family is saved from total ruin, but at a cost. It is assumed that Mr. Gardiner has paid Wickham a significant bribe to secure the marriage. Chapter 49. The supposed resolution. Mr. Bennet returns home, filled with sarcastic wit to mask his shame and guilt. He believes his brother-in-law must have paid Wickham a fortune. Mrs. Bennet's reaction is a masterpiece of irony. She is instantly ecstatic, planning the wedding and boasting about "my daughter." Mrs. Wickham, with no concern for the morality of the situation or the man her daughter has married. She is solely focused on the superficial victory of having a daughter married. Elizabeth, however, reflects on the cost. She believes the marriage is founded on vice, and that Lydia's happiness is impossible. She also privately grieves that this scandal has forever destroyed any chance of a relationship with Darcy, who witnessed the beginning of the disgrace. Part 3. The Unraveling of the Truth. Chapters 50-52. Chapter 50. Reckoning and Regret. Mr. Bennet confronts his own failings as a father, admitting to Elizabeth that his unpardonable neglect is to blame for Lydia's character. They learn from Mr. Gardiner that the settlement on Lydia was surprisingly small, far less than Wickham's debts. The family is mystified but grateful. Chapter 51. The Bride and Groom's Visit. Lydia and Wickham visit Longbourn after their marriage. They are utterly unashamed. Lydia is boastful and vulgar, while Wickham is all easy charm, completely unrepentant. In a private moment, Lydia lets slip a crucial piece of information. Mr. Darcy was present at her wedding. Elizabeth is stunned. She immediately writes to her aunt, Mrs. Gardiner, demanding the full truth. Chapter 52. Mrs. Gardiner's revelatory letter. Mrs. Gardiner's reply contains the full, breathtaking story. 1. Darcy's role. It was Darcy, not Mr. Gardiner, who found the fugitive couple in London. 2. The confrontation. Darcy confronted Wickham, who demanded an exorbitant sum to marry Lydia. Darcy negotiated him down. 3. The financial settlement. Darcy personally paid off Wickham's debts, totaling over £1,000, bought him a new commission in the regular army, costing another £1,000 plus, and settled a small amount of money on Lydia. He did all this on the condition that the source of the money remain a secret, allowing Mr. Gardiner to take the credit. Mrs. Gardiner speculates that Darcy's motive was his love for Elizabeth. Elizabeth's feelings are a whirlwind of shock, gratitude, and a profound, dawning love. Any last vestige of prejudice is annihilated, replaced by the certainty that Darcy is the best man she has ever known. Part 4. The Triumph of Love and Principle. Chapters 53-61. Chapter 53. The Return to Netherfield. Mr. Bingley and Mr. Darcy return to Netherfield Park. Their visit to Longbourn is tense. Bingley is clearly still in love with Jane, while Darcy is reserved and formal with Elizabeth, leaving her anxious and unsure of his feelings. Chapter 54-55. The Double Courtship. Darcy's behavior remains a puzzle to Elizabeth. He is polite but distant. Bingley, however, requires no encouragement. He swiftly resumes his courtship of Jane and, within days, proposes marriage. The joy of the household is immense. Elizabeth reflects on the irony that the man whose interference once parted the couple has now been the primary agent in saving her family, making their union possible. Chapter 56. The final antagonist, Lady Catherine's visit. In a dramatic, unannounced visit, Lady Catherine de Bourgh confronts Elizabeth. She has heard a scandalous falsehood that Elizabeth is engaged to Darcy. She demands Elizabeth promise never to enter into such an engagement, citing her own daughter's prior claim, the disparity in rank, and the pollution of Elizabeth's family, specifically the Lydia Wickham scandal. Elizabeth refuses to be intimidated. She defends her family with dignity and, with brilliant legal precision, refuses to make any such promise, stating, "I am only resolved to act in that manner, which will, in my own opinion, constitute my happiness, without reference to you, or to any person so wholly unconnected with me." Chapter 57-58. The Confession. Following Lady Catherine's report of this conversation, Darcy's hope is rekindled. He returns to Longbourn and, while walking with Elizabeth, asks if her feelings toward him have changed since his first disastrous proposal. This leads to a deeply moving and honest conversation. Elizabeth thanks him for his unexampled kindness to Lydia. He explains that he did it all for her. He states that her reproofs at Hunsford taught him a lesson, hard indeed at first, but most advantageous, teaching him the insufficiency of his previous manners. Elizabeth, in turn, confesses her own shame for her past behavior. I have been a selfish being all my life. I was given good principles, but left to follow them in pride and conceit. You taught me a lesson. By you, I was properly humbled. Chapter 59-61. The Happy Endings. Elizabeth joyfully announces her engagement to her father, who is initially astonished. Concerned she does not truly love Darcy, she reassures him with heartfelt conviction. I do like him, I love him. The novel concludes with a series of resolutions. Elizabeth and Darcy's marriage is one of mutual respect, intelligence, and deep affection. She learns to be less critical, and he learns to be more genial. Their union at Pemberley symbolizes the perfect balance of her liveliness and his dignity. Jane and Bingley settle at an estate near Pemberley, their happiness founded on goodness and genuine love. Mr. Bennet frequently visits Pemberley, finding great pleasure in its library and his witty daughter's company. The Wickhams are constantly moving, financially irresponsible, and their marriage is one of fleeting affection, sustained only by Darcy's money. Kitty, removed from Lydia's influence and spending time with her elder sisters, improves greatly. Mary remains at home with her parents. The final paragraph offers a wry, authorial comment on the happiness of the Darcys and the Bingleys, noting that even Miss Bingley was eventually reconciled to the marriage out of self-interest. Please like and subscribe for more